So, hello everyone. Good evening. So, we are back today at 9 p.m. for our BITSAT prime time with Masterclass Space. So, today is 27th session. We hope that since the inception of this thing, we are able to provide something useful to you. So, the idea behind BITSAT prime time was very simple that we regularly interact with you, we regularly share relevant stuff with you, and that we are trying to do. So friends, today we will be doing something related to chemistry. We have chosen a topic which we received many comments about, that this topic students feel some pressure about, they get confused, and often they lose marks through this. So we thought, why not like discuss it during the BITSAT prime time. So what we are going to do is that we will delve deeper into this concept. We won't cover all the topics related to it, but we would focus on the thinking part, like how you should think when a question related to Châtelier's principle is there, and what should be the way out for that question. Okay, and once you are thorough with the way in which it works, you will be able to do the same thing for all other, you can say, factors also. Okay, so let's start with it. I'm just sharing this link with relevant people who might be interested in watching. So I'm putting across this link. So friends, let's start without wasting any further time. So Checklier's principle. So first, let's try to go through the definition of it. Okay, there have been some questions our students shared where actual definition has been asked. Like, what is the closest approximation of the definition? If you recall, in previous chemistry session, we did it with respect to, I think, there was some topic about quantum numbers, and yeah, Pauli's exclusion principle. So such questions many times come when you are actually asked about definition. Okay, so what we need to understand here, friends, Chatelier's principle, it states that if a dynamic equilibrium is there which is being disturbed by changing of conditions, okay, by changing of conditions, and we see that what those changes can be. It can be change in pressure, change in temperature, change in concentration. If any of these changes are there, the position of equilibrium shifts to counteract the change, to re-establish an equilibrium. So what is essentially to be understood, that first, a system should be at a dynamic equilibrium. Why dynamic? Because always reactants keep on going to product keep on going back to reactant. So it is a dynamic equilibrium. But in that dynamic equilibrium, if you suddenly introduce some kind of disturbance, that will make it bad. So in that case, what is the aim? The aim is very simple, that to counter that change, the system behaves in a way, the system behaves, or you can say, in a way that it can oppose the change. Okay. So as soon as a change is introduced, system behaves in a way so that change is opposed. Very obvious also. In fact, many times you can relate that maybe that's how, say, our body also reacts, right? So if somehow temperature of surrounding gets lowered drastically, okay, and that is affecting our body will do something so that change, it can somehow be counteracted, okay, or if its effect can be counteracted. So that way we need to understand it. So without so with this definition clear in our mind, now let's try to take certain examples through which we can learn it. Okay. So first we can learn with respect to, say, concentration of reactants and products, or we can also learn this through moles. So you can say with respect to moles or concentration. So we will see how it happens. I'll take a hypothetical example, very simple example. Say A, 2A, it is a gaseous, plus B, again gaseous, and they are going to form, say, A to B. Okay, again gaseous. Suppose we have done a change in which moles of A have been added. Okay, moles moles of A have been added to the system which is already at equilibrium. Now, friends, what will happen when you do this? Now, what is the change? Change is that moles of A increase. Okay, moles of A have increased. That is the change. So, according to Chatelier's principle, what the system will try to do? System will try to. So, this is the I would put that this is what this is our change, and then what system will do? So, system will try to decrease A because of Chatelier's principle. Okay, when it happens, my friend, what will happen? How we can assure that moles of A get decreased? So how it happens? How it happens? It happens by going forward. Okay. So it happens by going forward because in the forward direction, A is getting consumed. Okay. So that way, moles of A will decrease. But yeah, it is important to understand that what we are saying is not true with respect to overall moles. So, what you need to understand, friends, the situation is something like this. Suppose you had A and B. Okay. This was the concentration of A. This was the concentration of B. Okay. And say this was the concentration of A to B. Consider this as an example. Okay. Equilibrium has been reached. Now, friends, what you did suddenly, so this was concentration of A, this was concentration of B, this was A to B. Now, suddenly, friends, what happened? You have added A. Okay. So suddenly you have changed its concentration. According to Chatelier's principle, what is going to happen? For sure, its concentration, its mole will decrease. So yes, it will start falling. Because A is going forward, with what it is reacting? It is reacting with B. Hence, B is also going forward. Hence, concentration of B will also fall. This is very important. Okay, I'm not drawing up to the correct scale actually, because if you see the scale, of course, A will get decreased sharply. Okay, because 2A reacts with 1B. So the slope of A, it would be steeper. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you, friends, through this, what is going to happen when A is decreasing, B is decreasing, A to B will form, it will slightly increase. Okay. And what is the best part about this? The best part about this is that if you consider that, okay, at T1, they were at equilibrium. Okay. If at T1, they were at a previous equilibrium, and if at T2, they are at a new equilibrium. So at T1, friends, what was it? T1 was old equilibrium. Okay. It was, say, old equilibrium. And T2 is the time for a new equilibrium. What we can see, you can always be assured that, you know, A at T1, sorry, we will start with A to B. So A to B raised to the power of 1 at T1. Okay. A at T1 with a square, okay, and B at T1 with power 1, friends, this is equal to A to B at T2 divided by new concentration of A at T2. Okay, this won't be A2, it's simply A. Just, yeah. New concentration of A at T2 multiply, yeah, square is also there because 2A are there, and B at T2 power 1. And why is that happening, friends? Because in this case, what we have done, we have changed the concentration of reactant, but we haven't changed the temperature. Very important to understand. So if you haven't changed temperature, K equilibrium will be same. So K at T1, so whichever time we were talking about. So because it is time, ideally I should have used, my bad, small t, so that it was obvious. So K at T1, in fact, to make it, yeah, we can make small t so that it is not confused. Okay. Because capital T generally denotes, say, yeah, capital T denotes temperature. I do not want you to confuse with it. Yeah. So what we need to understand, friends, because temperature remains same, K equilibrium has remained same. Is that okay? That's what we need to see here. So this was the concept. So what happened? And if you see new moles of A, if someone asks what happens to the new concentration of A, it is slightly higher than the previous concentration. What happens to concentration of B? Friends, it is lower than the previous concentration. What happens to A to B? It is higher. But the trickiest question is what happens to the concentration of A? Many times you will feel that it will go down. Maybe it went down such that it was, say, lower than the previous concentration. No, it won't. Okay. If you want, in next chemistry class, I can give you proper example with a numerical to show the values. But logically also you can establish this. Okay. So with respect to concentration, what we see, friends, if reactants are added, okay, reaction goes forward. Okay. If reactants are removed by the same logic, reaction goes backward. If product are added, okay, just do the inverse. Reactants were added, reaction goes forward. If this happens, yeah, reaction goes back. And when products are removed, what happens again? Reaction goes forward. So if you see overall continuously, what drives reaction forward the best? Removal of product and addition of reactant. And when you will study in your first year, second year engineering courses, continuous processes. So one is a batch process, one is a continuous process. In continuous process, best way to ensure a good way, a good, say, extent of reaction, because equilibrium is not about, say, you can say equilibrium is not about just the what thermodynamics tells us, not about feasibility of reaction. Instead, it is about extent of reaction. So if you want the reaction to happen to good extent, what you will do, you will continuously add a reactant and remove product. Okay. So friends, this is what happens with respect to concentration. Hoping you have understood this concept. Okay. So if you have understood it, if you like it, you would have to share in comments, and then I'll take another lecture on it. But because today's lecture, I wanted to keep it to a basic point. So you tell me if you like it, then we will cover, say, three more topics: role of temperature, role of pressure volume, and role of inertia. Okay. But yeah, for today, I hope you understood the thinking with which such questions have to be done, and hopefully you would have got a good, better insight into Châtelier's principle. And yeah, so you let me know in comments if you would want. We will definitely do another round on it. Yes. So, friends, take care, and we will see you tomorrow with a new topic in BITSAT Prime Time with Masterclass Space. So, yeah, bye bye. Take care.